How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about Palantir. I was taking a look at the chart and I'm like, you know what? There's a trading opportunity here. And also there's something that I really like, and you guys know I like talking about it, the gap fill opportunity. But we also cannot ignore what the market conditions can possibly look like going into the week. And that's why I'm going to be putting this video together. So I won't waste any more time. Let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you're a shareholder or you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is the technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support. We want to know resistance. We want to know those key levels in a bearish case scenario and as well as in a bullish case scenario. And then we're going to go on Fintel, taking a look at the recent institutional ownership and as well as the short interest information. The reason why this is important because it does have an impact on the way the stock performs. And then we're going to be taking a look at the order flow distribution. We want to know what was the buying and as well as the selling behavior like on the Friday for the institutional side and as well as for the retail side. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some more details. So let's get to it. So we're going to do a technical analysis for Palantir. Let's see how it performed on Friday. So ended up closing at $21.03, being down 0.38%. On the low, it tested $20.35, and then on the high, testing $21.09. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 20.691 million shares, and then for the average volume over 10 trading days being at 38.778 million shares. So one thing you can notice right away, we did have below average volume on the day, but there were no surprises there due to the fact it was a short day on the Friday. It was also a holiday week and also there's news surrounding the new variant. Now, when we take a look at our chart, which is the daily chart, you can see from the RSI down below, it is right at 34.70. And you can see clearly Palantir has been on quite the downtrend. We are also below all the major moving averages, which is the 50-day, the 100-day, the 200-day, and as well as the 21-day EMA. But one of the things that I want to bring to your attention here, this $20 area of support seems to be forming a pretty good base. The last time we actually visited around these particular areas was all the way back in May. So if Palantir could hold down this $20 level, then I could see a swing trade opportunity and move it all the way here to the 200-day around $24 and then seeing it make that move going to $25. But if this $20 level does ever decide to end up breaking, then the next level that you want to look out for would be 1921, and you also can see levels here of 1833. So this is part of the reasons why you want to have a strategy. As you can see on the Friday, the resistance was at $21. So if we can get a move above 21, the next level I'll be looking for would be 21.54, and if there's buying pressure, then we can see what it would do when it reaches up to 22. So now that you guys have a good idea of what it looks like in a bearish case scenario and as well as a bullish case scenario and what my price target would be as far as for the medium term if the markets are fairly strong, you can come up with a strategy that works well for you. So now let's move into the next segment of the video. So we're going to take a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information for Palantir. So scrolling down further on the page, green rows indicate new positions while red rows indicate closed positions. So what you can see here right away, we're going to take a look at November 26 to be exact. We have SPGM that purchased 5,556 shares. We also have the FOMO ETF that purchased 1,359 shares. We also have SPRX that purchased 3,616 shares. And then we also see Syfax, which purchased 2,900 shares. So we could see there's definitely been a lot of institutional activity in regards to filings. So now when we take a look at the short interest, the dark pool short volume ratio is at 35.03%. And then for the dark pool short volume being just over 2.6 million shares. As we scroll down further on the page, the short shares availability is at 10 million, updated 12 minutes ago. And then for the short borrow fee rate, it is at 0. 0.27%. Now, when we take a look at the history of the short volume ratio, we could see for the close of the 24th, which was Wednesday last week that just passed, it was at 43.98. And then for the Friday that just passed, it was at 35.03. So we do see a reduction in the short interest, but one thing that is still very clear, Palantir does have short squeeze potential, and it's part of the reasons why if we have strong market conditions, there could be a swing trade opportunity here. So now let's jump into the order flow distribution. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for Palantir. We can see here on the inflow is at 52.37, and then on the outflow is at 58.81. So as you can see, we ended up having an outflow day. Taking a look at the breakdown even further, we had 0 on the large. On the medium, we had 30.01. Then on the small, we had 22.36. When we take a look at the outflow side on the large, it was 0.89. Then on the medium, it was 34.84. And then on the small, it was 23.08. When we take a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you can see for November the 26th, so the Friday that just passed, negative outflow of 890.43. And as we take a look at the small scale orders, you can see that we had more selling than we had buying, and this tends to represent the retail side, but it was still fairly close. And then when we take a look at the medium, we had more selling than we had buying. And then when we take a look at the large, which potentially could represent institutions, we had more selling that was going on. Now, when we take a look at the turnover ratio, it was at 1.26%. So for a stock like Palantir, this is not too bad whatsoever. We know there's also going to be a lot of traders that go in and out of this play due to the fact it does trade at a high volume. But one thing that is very clear, there are many who are still holding on to their positions. So now let's jump into the final thoughts and we'll go over some more details as well. So for my final thoughts for Palantir, I'm going to give you guys 2 likely scenarios. The reason why this is important, the market conditions. We saw it pull back quite a bit, but again, if things are strong, here's what I see Palantir doing. So first, I start off with the worst case scenario, but this is also good news for anyone who's a long-term investor in the play or is probably looking to actually start off a swing trade opportunity at a much better entry. So if the markets decide to continue to pull back, then you can see this $20 area of support actually break, and then we could see Palantir getting to around 19 and even getting into the $18 range. This is not a bad area if you believe in the long-term prospects of Palantir. Now, as far as for the bullish case scenario, and if the markets are strong, I'd want to see Palantir hold up the $20 level and then make that move to $24 to fill in that gap right at the 200-day moving average. And I feel this is very doable, and that's why I wanted to make sure I shared it with you guys very quickly. And also, when we went on Fintel, taking a look at the short interest information, it is clear to see it does have short squeeze potential. So this is why you want to pay attention to the buying pressure that's coming into this stock, and why I say keep it on your radar. Do your homework, do your due diligence, and find out what will be the right setup for you. But from what I'm seeing very clearly here, there is an opportunity for a nice swing trade. Am I saying that the max that Palantir can get to is filling in that gap at 24? Of course not. We've seen how well this stock can move. It can go to 25, it can go to 26, but it's going to be up to you to decide when you want to take profits. But I'm just looking at a move that looks very clear, especially if the markets are looking good. And again, for all of my long-term investors out there, I did make videos on Palantir before as well, and I do like this stock if you can get it in the $18 to the $17 range, but do know it is volatile. It is a growth stock at the end of the day. It's going to have its ups and downs, but that tends to be a good area to actually load up on some shares and ride it to the next move up. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll be talking real soon.